Karma is a cruel and unforgiving mistress. After years of making fun of people for crying over Splash Mountain closing for Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Hot take, but the worst thing the woke radical left has done is cancel Brer Rabbit and Splash Mountain.
Or for the DCA's Tower of Terror turning into Mission Breakout. Even the great movie ride's closing, but Disney has finally come for me. After D23, everyone was almost certain that Launch Bay was going to get replaced by the new Monsters Inc. land. You know, the most packed and crowded part of the park, Animation Courtyard. Home of the empty and underwhelming Star Wars Museum, a theater that hasn't been open since 2020, and Disney Junior Play and Dance. Now that last one is kinda necessary for a nice, well-rounded, something for everyone in the family Disney experience, but do you know what else is for everyone in the family? MuppetVision 3D. I think ideally in a movie-making centered park like Hollywood Studios, there 100% deserves to be an Animation Courtyard with cool behind-the-scenes models and tidbits with one of your most popular franchises of all time, but A, we are long past the movie-making aspect of Hollywood Studios, and B, they don't do anything here anymore. It's completely desolate. Welcome to the nothing stupid dumb meet and greet area. Just rename it that. However, another desolate part of the park is Muppet Courtyard. I mean, 4 things to do in Grand Avenue and 3 of them are dining. MuppetVision is great, but Pizza Rizzo is just another quick service spot, and the Muppet store hasn't been open in ages. Plus, it looks bad. What if we put a bunch of paint everywhere? I get it, it's supposed to be a studio stage plastered by the Muppets, but it just kind of looks bad. I feel like we could be more creative than that. The inside was really cool though, and I'm pretty sure they reopened it up for Jollywood Nights as like a photo op, so I guess that's cool. When I went to Disney World last year, there were so many construction walls up that I genuinely didn't even know that there was a bathroom. Mama Melrose's is cool, I guess, but all the fake buildings and stuff behind the theater don't even look like they're supposed to be there. There's a Christmas shop or something, I think. I don't know, I think the intentional and unintentional grime and dirtiness of Grand Avenue mixed with its very obvious datedness creates a bit of like uneasiness or like uncomfortability. Is that ridiculous to say? Maybe it's some type of weird claustrophobia because all the storefronts across the street still on Grand Avenue actually are pretty cool. It's a dead part of the park for sure, and it makes sense why Disney maybe wants to add a cool immersive land to the park and replace it with something that's not so immersive and cool. I think the whole area around MuppetVision needed a retheme because of how amazing MuppetVision itself is. I just don't think the grimy Italian streets behind all the Muppet stuff mushed well with the already kind of grimy and nasty looking Muppet stuff. Maybe it's the amount of bricks they use? I don't know, the theming is so obviously intentional, but it just looks like a rundown part of the park. All these complaints, however, absolutely do not apply to MuppetVision 3D, the last thing that Jim Henson worked on for the Muppets. The theming is insane, little tiny bits, references, jokes, parodies behind every little corner. There is a trillion gags and really funny jokes before the show even starts.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Sam Eagle, and these are some important safety instructions for you.
Sam.
Not now, don't.
Sam, this is urgent. Come here.
What is what?
Yes.
Really? Here?
Right over there.
Well, of course, certainly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an unexpected surprise. I have the great honor of introducing the one, the only, Mr. Mickey Mouse.
While the ride can look a little outdated at times, the Muppets themselves are timeless. I don't know, man, these jokes are still so funny today, and 1991 was not too long ago. So many funny bits that are just uniquely Muppet and stand out from everything else in the Disney parks. And oh my god, it's air conditioned. The seats are so comfortable, it's not too loud, there's nice bubbles, you aren't getting perpetually penetrated and violated for 9 minutes. It really is just a show, and even when stuff gets loony all around you with Sweetums, Swedish Chef, and the penguins firing at each other and stuff like that, it never gets that weird overwhelming feeling. It's always relaxed and comfortable and funny. It's not the "it's tough to be a bug, let's make our guests as uncomfortable and frightened as possible." It's a very funny, relaxed, and comfortable show. It may seem like a really weird thing to point out, but as the #1 it's tough to be a bug hater, I like the idea of having cool stuff actually happen to you in a theater with cool 4D stuff, with the screens and the walls, with gunshots and fireworks and bubbles, while you're as relaxed and comfortable as if you were just watching a regular show. If you can take a nap during the show and you can bring dogs in, it gets the thumbs up for me. And no, I don't have autism. I just don't like air blowing in my face every 2 seconds. I'm so glad you're getting replaced by Zootopia. I don't care how impressive your Hopper animatronic is, buddy. The ride's format is very Muppety, with a quick intro to what they are trying to do, 3 nice performances while showing off MuppetVision technology. The little intro bit before the 3 main segments is literally just them doing multiple cheap 3D tricks in such a lame and stupid way that it's genuinely hilarious. Like, what is this, Gonzo? What are you doing? Why is it, like, dancing like that? Obviously, during the 3 segments, something goes wrong and hilarity ensues. How far each segment goes, though, is genuinely baffling to me, with Beaker accidentally sucking up the whole screen, Bean just walking into a random black abyss after getting kicked out. They pause the entire show so that an actual Sweetums can walk out and look for him. And the Penguins shoot a cannon at the film, with Swedish Chef retaliating with literally just a regular gun just shooting at Waldo, before blowing up the entire theater with his own cannon. Waldo in general is probably the worst part of the show. The 3D puppet thing they do is really dated, considering it's literally like the early 1990s, and he's pretty unfunny, even though he does have some good jokes in there. The entire finale is so energetic and funny. This show really uses all components, animatronics, screens, and even physical actors to make it seem like you're presently watching the Muppets screw up, just like if you were in the Muppet Show. The jokes in here are so funny that it genuinely makes me mad how unpopular the ride is. Beans giving Piggy a jet ski. Waldo turning into Mickey Mouse. We're bolted to the seats. Yes, glorious 3-hour finale. You got a minute and a half. Your chair's on my foot. They're just randomly opening doors from the abyss. The ride is classic, and as a Muppets fan, it being the last thing Jim Henson worked on, it holds a special place in my heart. I hope to see that Monstropolis is super well themed. I mean, the swinging door coaster does look really cool, but there isn't another MuppetVision. It's so funny, so suitable for all audiences. It's not a ride or coaster. Getting rid of it limits people who don't like going on roller coasters, especially after a certain announcement. I see the concept art. They want to put another show in there. We all know it's not going to be close, buddy. Unless that show is Laugh Floor, it's really up for debate on whether this billboard is an indicator that it's moving, or it's an Easter egg, or just a placeholder prop. Hi, Fed in post. It should note the sign on the theater says Late Night Screams, so take of that what you will. I don't know if that is a placeholder for something, or that's what the show's going to be focused on. There's no details on this land at all. In terms of the actual ride, Disney has said they're looking for ways to preserve it. Yeah, that means Disney Plus. Or does it? Because as they announced that Grand Avenue would close to make way for Monstropolis, they also announced that Rock and Roller Coaster would be getting a retheme, which I think we all knew would happen eventually because of contract stuff and other things. But it's being rethemed to the Muppets. An Electric Mayhem retheme has been rumored for a long time, and that it's kind of correct. Although I don't love that the Muppets, a family-friendly brand, is getting a roller coaster. At least Disney cares somewhat about the Muppets and they want to keep them in the park, or they just desperately needed a rock and roller coaster retheme. Disney in their blog states that they will be teaming up with some of music's biggest stars, so that implies regular popular pop or rock artists being on the ride as well. Although I don't hate the idea because that could be a lot of fun, I think the best case scenario is to keep it to Muppet music only, letting whoever do covers with the Muppets. That would stop music from getting instantly outdated while keeping it specifically Muppet themed. I would hope they'd probably either pull from today's biggest pop hits or classic rock figures to try and keep the ride as timeless as possible. I really just hope that they throw in some animatronics, and not just screens for the pre-show, but we all know what's gonna happen. The original pre-show's a screen. There is no reason to spend the money on some random animatronics. They made Rocket an animatronic, gosh dang it. They could have just made him a screen. Muppet music on its own is awesome and could 100% carry the entire ride. So although people are displeased with this announcement, I'm glad that Disney just isn't completely throwing away the Muppets. They're letting them host Jollywood shows, so that's cool, I guess. They also announced Muppet merch would take over Sunset Boulevard, which, that's cool, alright? Actual Muppet merch in the parks. Hey Disney, the Sunset Showcase building is right there! Remember Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy? I do, but you probably don't. A whole show building is right there. Screw the villain stuff. They're already getting the villains land beyond Big Thunder Mountain, Disney. Cancel this villain show. Put MuppetVision in there and make an honest-to-God Muppet land. Fed in post again. I know I said this like as a joke in the video, but it's a genuine possibility. We're getting the villains land beyond Big Thunder. The expansion is coming. I don't know, 2028 release. I don't know. I don't know when the time slot is specifically. I'll probably flash it up on screen. But there is this villain show that we're getting in place of Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. But when that ends, you can genuinely put MuppetVision in there, change the theater around a little bit, and make a Muppet Land with 2 attractions right there. I think that would genuinely be so cool. Maybe make a movie or like do something other than a Disney Plus show, please. The Muppets right now are in such a low point, and it was a similar point in the early 2000s as Disney XD kind of rooted them out of relevance. The Muppets 2011 movie was such a return for the Muppets, but we only got 2 movies from this era, even though both of them were genuinely great. I'm like the only person who liked the 2015 ABC show. It's not just an Office parody. They were already running a show in the first place. This is just slightly different. All the jokes, characterization, and premise all works really well, giving all the Muppets a more down-to-earth and regular vibe as opposed to how cartoonish they typically are. Then they stopped making movies, and they just put out terrible shows and specials no one's gonna watch. And I'm pretty sure Muppet Mayhem is actually pretty good, but I'm not gonna watch it. Or really, I'll watch it later or something because it's the Electric Mayhem. It's not even all the Muppets. From the little I've seen, which is a bit of a compilation video of the funniest moments, it looks decent. I honestly blame the whole Muppet death on the change in Kermit actors because of some managerial disagreement at the Jim Henson company. The new one sounds like he has bronchitis. The Muppets really haven't felt the same to me. Even in the 2015 show where they did act way more realistic, it still felt like the Muppets, but these ones just feel like cardboard cutouts, if that makes sense. It's my honest belief that the Muppets are being severely underutilized because they're still so desired and popular, but Disney is doing nothing, despite it being their first acquisition, I'm pretty sure.
There's no need to disguise. The studio considers us a viable franchise.
I just hope that MuppetVision can live on in some way that isn't just dumping it on Disney Plus, but we all know that's probably going to be the case. Real quick about Monstropolis, I genuinely think it looks amazing, and I want it to be as good as it possibly can because it is replacing MuppetVision. I hope that the show is good. I hope it encapsulates the screens, animatronics, and live performances. I think that was a staple of the original MuppetVision. I hope there's some little nods here and there to Grand Avenue and MuppetVision. I hope that there's that sushi place that there is in the movie to be an actual sit-down restaurant. The Mike and Sully to the rescue or escape, the dark ride that's in Anaheim. I would really love for that to be here. If we have 3 attractions, 1 show, 1 dark ride, and 1 thrill ride, that is like a perfectly balanced land right there. It kind of makes sense that Disney wants to replace Grand Avenue with Monstropolis because then, and you can even see in this concept art right here, Rise of the Resistance is right there. Galaxy's Edge is literally right next to it. So it will go hyper-immersive land to hyper-immersive land to hyper-immersive land. So you put all your cool lands right in the back, and then you save room for the Muppets in the front, I guess. Hey, fed in post once more, just to end the video real quick. I completely forgot about this, and this has been out for a while. I know I'm getting to all of this like a month after all of this was new information, but I completely forgot about it. Jim Henson's company actually responded to the closure of MuppetVision, and it has a very interesting note right at the end there, so I'm just going to read it out. Jim Henson's final project was MuppetVision 3D, now regarded as a true theme park classic. Innovation was always Jim Henson's North Star, and his trailblazing career led him to a unique challenge. A truly immersive Muppet experience is where audiences are a part of the happy chaos of the iconic Muppet Show. Originally debuting in 1991, MuppetVision 3D combined 3D technology with real-world practical effects alongside animatronic and live Muppet characters. The result was a one-of-a-kind Jim Henson experience and an unforgettable capstone in Jim's magnificent career. As we learn of the show's upcoming closure in its current form at Disney's Hollywood Studios, we look forward to MuppetVision 3D's next act. Now, this is insane. The fact that MuppetVision will have a next act, whether that is Disney Plus getting dumped on there, reopening somewhere else in Hollywood Studios, reopening somewhere else in Disney World, or maybe another Disney park, maybe somewhere completely outside of the Disney parks and somewhere specifically from the Jim Henson Company. There are a lot of things that this could mean, right? I mean, every possibility. This doesn't really confirm anything because it could very well just be sanctimoniously dumping it on Disney Plus. But it is very interesting to think about that Jim Henson's company actually responded and they are looking forward to MuppetVision 3D's next act. So it does seem to mean that it is living on in some way that I guess the Jim Henson Company is looking forward to. So just, keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I've had so many different channels back to when I was like 10 or 11 on YouTube, posting, phone game videos, then other video games, and some type of drama commentary. But this is genuinely, and those were all different names. This is the first Fed Ed channel, the one I really want to stick with because I love Disney so much, and right now is such an exciting time for the Disney parks. I mean, there's always stuff to talk about, but I've been watching Disney stuff forever. I've been watching TPM vids since I was in middle school. Offhand Disney has now become one of my favorite YouTubers, so I really it's going to be so fun to research and to, put in the effort to make these informational videos, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. I can't guarantee a set schedule, but I will obviously try to post as frequently as possible. So please subscribe, like the video if you haven't, because this is a project I definitely want to stick towards wherever it may leave me. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you.